You hear me now? I'm sorry, I forgot to push that little thingy in. So Amritpal is number one. And Gavin, hello from Tennessee. Amritpal, where are you tuning in from? Madara? No sound, yes, it's all fixed up. I'd forgotten to push that. The back connection of the mic was out. So Amritpal, where are you tuning in from? Brampton. Brampton, BOI. What does BOI stand for? First lesson, hello from India. Hello. Good. Thank you. See, she knows the protocol. Where are you tuning in from, how old you are, and if you're a man or a woman. So she says, hello from India, girl, 27. Now, Amritpal, you got to do the same. Gavin, the same. Remind me, or maybe remind me when you ask a question. It looks like we are on the okay time zone for US, Canada, Europe, and a little bit India, but it's a bit late for India, but still I can see first last is here, even though in India is probably about what, 12:30 a.m. Yeah, 12 a.m. India, right? Christian Mühlbauer, guten Tag. Madara says, Mehran, in these days it is almost very difficult to find a woman who are into achieving their dreams. Majority are just into reading fictitious romance books and just get into relationship as early as 15 years of age. Well, you know, every woman or every man is actually in pursuit of their own dreams. What you mean here is that their dream does not is not in harmony with your dreams or what you expect them to be focused on, which is always true. Everyone is different, everyone's consciousness is different, and so naturally there would be differences between people's dreams, so that goes without saying. But I think what you mean today is that the women are very different than how they used to think that the process of or goal of life was in the past. And that's again a natural course of evolution in thoughts. We all change. In the old days, women were just focused to, they were trained or conditioned to think of themselves nothing more than childbearing and being a wife and being in the kitchen. But nowadays, opportunities and more wisdom and understanding has prevailed, and everyone, including women themselves, have realized that they can be a lot more than that, and they can have both. They can be the kind of person that they want to be, whether it's being a mother or being a career woman or being an engineer or being a doctor or being a lawyer or being a pilot or being whatever it is that they want to do and achieve, they can. And at the same time, they may choose to be a housewife, a mother full-time, and dedicate their life to their family, or again, if that is what they want to pursue. The key point is here that every woman is now aware, or should be aware, that they can achieve anything that they want in life, and they can be anything that they want to be, and it is not limited for them to be just one thing, whether a worker or just a teacher or a housewife or mother, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be one thing. Some choose to make it to be one thing because that is their choice. They believe to be a good mother or good wife and to nurture the family is the most important thing in their life. And I salute that and honor that. And something that to be, I don't know, a aerospace engineer, or to be a software engineer, or to be a inventor, or to be a doctor, or to be a good humanitarian is what they want to be. And I salute that, and I'm proud of them. Whatever it is a woman wants to achieve today, they can and they should pursue that in their life. So, some of them, it may fit what you have in mind to choose as your mate, your wife, or your girlfriend. And that's what you should pursue. But you can't expect every woman to pursue what it is that you want your woman to like, to choose and pursue. In that way, some would meet your criteria and you meet their criteria, and some don't. And that's how it's supposed to be. So don't be surprised. Just keep looking for what you would have harmony with, and the kind of girl that would suit your way of thinking, and her way of thinking and pursuit in life would be in line with what you hope to achieve. And that is also honorable and available. So don't give up, keep looking, but don't expect everyone to be in the same idea that you think they should be. Everybody is different. On that note, let's go to Gavin from Tennessee. Gavin says, I read all 3 of your books. Oh, okay. I recommend it to everyone because it changed my life and gave me so much confidence. Is there more books? Well, I'm delighted that you enjoyed, Gavin. I would like to ask you to make this comment in one of the other videos that is not a live talk, because I like people to read this comment if they haven't purchased the books, haven't enjoyed them, haven't read them yet. They will be encouraged. So either find one of the videos that I'm talking about the books, or just any video that you choose and you like. Just put that comment in, and I would use it as a testimonial of your enjoyment of the book. And thank you for the comment. David says, hello, age 23, but New Mexico today. Oh, what happened? Houston no longer good for you, good enough for you. Texas, I think that's where, Dallas or Houston, whichever. Madara says, of course, but I'm thinking about everyone is into short-term relationship versus long-term relationship, valuable ones. Yes, it's true. But you know, if you look at it, Madara, you will see that it's not just the women who are looking for that. You're not saying that about, there are many girls who say, hey, look, all the guys today are looking for short-term relationship. They're not saying that, are they? Or you're not saying that, you're not focusing on that, are you? Because that's how it's been. Like it was okay for men to do whatever the heck it is that they wanted to do. But because women have always been organized and a lifelong goal they had in their mind and set for a serious relationship to build a family, and so most women, not all, there are all kind of people at all different time periods existed. But because they were always majority we're following that kind of a scenario of building, supporting family and being serious about raising children and raising a family and all that, then now that it's changed, you notice this change and you make a comment on it. But this is exactly how it's been for many men for years. They've always been looking for short-term relationship with the girl, and if it didn't work out, the other one, right? Because it was all based on sex and intimacy, and that's what they were pursuing. But what is changed is that now girls realize that they can do the same. So they are. I'm not saying if it's good or bad. I'm just discussing the fact that that's how it is. And the reason that it shows so much more for the girls, because that's not how they used to be. It's a big change happened in a short period of time. But that's how it is right now. Some kind of a big dust was. So, you guys let me know if there's a noise background here. I'll shut the fan off. First, last, who is from India, says so many Indians today. Well, it is delightful to see all kinds of people from all around the world join us here, and I look forward to have more of every nationality join our live talks. That is the whole intention. Please make sure everybody like this streaming if you like, and we'll go from there. I wonder, the friends who are from India, tell me. I noticed there's lots of interest in my live talks or my videos, and lots of subscribers from India as well. But I believe there are a lot more in India. Like you guys are over what, 1.2 billion people. I'm asking to find out why is it that we don't have more of the people from India join us and subscribe to our channel. Is it because not everybody has access to, I don't know, YouTube? Or is it somehow we are not visible? And if we are not, then please do share the videos that you like on your social media. Help this channel to be known in India more, because there's such a big, huge community in India of many young people who can benefit from this channel, and I aim to be able to reach any corner of the world. We seem to be rather kind of recognized in Europe, and somewhat pretty much in United States, and somewhat in Australia. But Canada, where I actually reside, still is in its infancy of getting to know this channel, and perhaps we should then focus on the places that there's a root there. So India and people from India, I would be grateful if you could promote this channel or however way that you think it's feasible for you. I would appreciate it. Gavin says, how do you deal with a woman who gets mad very easily? You just ask the question with a very kind energy. Ask, what is it, dear? Why are you so mad at me? Well, be careful, don't call her mad. Just say, why are you so angry? Because if she's already angry and you call her mad, she may get insulted and you may be in trouble. So be careful. But it's not about a woman being angry. There are all kinds of people who haven't come to terms with their challenges and they are rushing in life, and there's certain things that is bothering them because they haven't been able to accomplish what it is that they wish to accomplish, to create that image that they would prefer to have of themselves in their own mind, and that image is not available yet, and that makes them upset. And of course there are lots of other reasons which we don't know enough information about this lady, so we can't really be objective on that. Maybe you can help with more information. First, last says so many okay, we saw that one. Sandeep says, hello Mehran. Hello Sandeep. Good to see you. Something in my throat, as Germans say, Jerommel in the throat. Ich habe Jerommel in the throat. Ich habe Jerommel in the throat. I remember this. I learned that. So, Sandeep says, what do you think about yourself when your ex-girlfriend is happy and enjoying than you after breakup? Nothing. Why should you be thinking about your ex being happy or not being happy? Focus on your own life. The problem, one of the challenges that many people have in their life, whether they have broken up from a relationship or not, they're focused on other people's lives. What is she doing? What is he doing? What is that family doing? Where are they going? What did they buy? What did they have? Why is she happy? A picture on Facebook, and that's only if a snapshot of her life that she's smiling, and that's exactly why she's put it there, to accentuate or to stress on or focus on a moment of her life that she feels good about herself, or she seems that picture represents a good image of her, which is she's trying to create that image in the minds of others, and she likes the image that she sees in that picture of herself, about herself. But that's only a fraction of her life, just a few seconds, a snapshot of her life, which does not represent her life. It just represents one snapshot of an occasion in her life. And you are thinking that that so very minute second snapshot of her life represents what she feels and looks and feels every moment of her life, and then you get jealous as if she's real. That's just a picture. She has her own problems, and really people should not treat these pictures as a true representation of each other's life. It's just a social thing that she's trying to create a little bit happy moment for herself. That's all. But you suddenly think, oh, and anyhow, why are you focusing on her life? Why? Focus on your life. You're missing your life by thinking that your life is here. Let's say there's a beautiful picture here in front of you, and it's wonderfully designed, and so much effort has gone into it to create this wonderful, amazing picture for enjoyment, which is pretty much according to your likings, but you keep focusing on the picture on that corner, which is not what you really like. It's not designed for you, and you wonder why are you not happy, because you're looking at that picture. Look at this one, meaning focus on your own life, focus on your plans, focus on what you like to do, what you like to create, what you like to appreciate, what you like to create, what you like to build, and focus on that, fulfilling your plans. And instead you keep looking at it. It's like two runners on a track, they're competing, and one of them is running and focused on the end line, the finishing line, the distance that he should be running, and the other one, while running, keep looking at this. Where is this other runner? How far is he behind or ahead? What is he doing? So while you're doing that, he's focusing on he's going to go faster. Why? Because his mind is focused on what he's trying to do, and he's not distracted. So it's focused, not dissipated. That's why his body will follow the initiative of his mind, the order of his mind, and that will pull him faster, and he will win the race. I'm not meaning life is a race. I'm just trying to tell you that if you keep focusing on something else, you won't be able to do the best you can in the path that you're supposed to negotiate. That's what I'm trying to say. So stop focusing on what other people do. Focus on your own life. Build your own life. Be happy with what you got in front of you. Eat your food in your plate. Don't keep looking at other people's plate. You don't know what's in there. You don't know why they eat that, and you don't care. What you got in front of you is good for your metabolism, and it's designed for you because you designed it. You chose that food to put in your plate. Even if it's not your best choice, what's in your plate, enjoy it because that's yours. Respect your choices. Respect your life. Be one with your life. Focus on your life. Don't keep looking at other people's plates, and don't keep looking at other tables in a restaurant, what they eat. Focus on what you ordered. And then you can enjoy your life. You're one with your opportunities, one with the actuality of your life. You're not in dreamland. You're focusing along with your life, with the flow of your life, not what was, what it could be, what it is there, and you're never with the present moment, and you miss the chance of living. Now, let's go to first last is true populated country, India. Okay. Madara says actually most of the people watch videos about how to make ex jealous or how to have sex on YouTube rather than actually getting deeper into the matter and understanding why and how that is you discuss. Here is a very deeper way. Yes, I agree. Most people are really watching, and most channels that are talking about how to get your ex back and how to make her miss you, how to make him want you, and all these things. And people are constantly trying to fulfill their ego through these things and get some kind of a satisfaction or pleasure rather than really building something that they could actually get to know and enjoy and have a solid relationship or solid life and happy life and be encouraged in who they are and understand who they are. Instead, they're constantly trying to put Band-Aid on something rather than heal the wound and understand how to take care of it so they won't be injured so easily anymore. Instead, just looking for a Band-Aid. Give me a Band-Aid so I won't see the wound, I won't feel it, you know, it feels okay, but still is getting infected and is shit underneath. So how to get your ex back? Why do you want to get your ex back? That's why there's a reason it's called ex. You were together, you tried, it didn't work, now it's gone. It's simple. The consciousnesses are not compatible. If you tried, and you guys try to understand who you are, how you're put together, and understand from that base how the other one is and how the other one is put together, and then see if you can have things in common and bond on consciousness level. But they don't do. If you did that and it didn't work and it's not called X, well, why do you want to have it back? To do the same thing? Why? You think it's about a word that you said? Something you did? No, it's a lot deeper than that. That's why we're here. We want to help you to understand how your psyche is put together. Who are you? What are you all about? What is it that makes you tick? What are you made of? How are you put together? Is this an avatar? Is this a shell? What you are? This physical presence? Is that what you think you are? So this physical presence is what buys the flower, brings the flower to the girl, to your girlfriend? Is how you feel about your girlfriend? Is this the physical representation of you that does all these things? Or is it your thoughts, your feelings, your conditioning, your values, which are all in your consciousness? So, are you this physical entity, or are you your consciousness? Are you the information and the knowledge and the content of your consciousness? Which one is it? You. Is this you, or is this a vehicle which carries you, the consciousness, to experience things in life? So if that's the case, and then you have to know all these things in order to be able to bond on that level with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend. And then knowing each other's consciousness, being able to connect on that level, will give you something tremendously different than if you're just focused on how you look, how this other person looks, and think you can bond on the physical look of each other, or based on the money that one of you have, or based on position that one of you have, or based on the looks that one of you have. And you all know none of that works. So if you've been approaching your relationship on that basis and it didn't work, and now you say, how can I get my ex back? What do you mean? You were there. It didn't work for a reason. Find out what those reasons were, which comes from you inside. It starts right here. To know yourself first, how you're put together, then on that basis you can get to know whoever it is that you're trying to have a relationship with. Both of you together, then you'll have a chance. Otherwise, you'll go from this, you do the same thing with the other, and look at the same, you look at the relationship in the same way with the next one, and it's always going to have the same results. Get to know what it is that you are. Thoughts, consciousness, your desires, ego, your fears. Where do these all come from? What is their role in your life? How is it that they affect you in the way you see, feel, do things, act and react in your daily life and toward each other? That's how you get to go somewhere. And I understand. This is why most people don't want to invest time to learn. They just want somebody to tell them, oh, there, you'll be good, you know. Like this. Answer like this. Just, you know, how to get your ex back, how to text him, how to make him crazy, how to make him jealous. But how long would these things last? None of them are an instrument to bring a relationship together. Maybe you make somebody jealous. So what? You think that jealousy is going to cause them to come back, and actually when they come back they still like what they see? Let's say they come back, but you're still the same person and they're still the same person, and you still don't know how to interact on consciousness level. So again, you're going to separate. You're going to have problems. So we are carrying something much deeper here. And I hope people will find our channels, and maybe you guys can somehow make it more popular. Now, Gavin says, in your book, you stated a movie called Jab Tak Hal Jan. Yes, I know. What made you like that movie so much? I don't remember that movie. I know that I did mention that, and I know I think I mentioned the reason I liked that movie in that video. It was very wholesome, I think. Most Indian movies are wholesome. They have good lessons, some of them in there. Not all, you know, different people. But that movie, I noticed there were some values that, you know, it was interesting. I don't exactly remember the story to make a comment now, but I have to see my own video to see, and then see the movie again. I think it was with Shah Rukh Khan, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Anyhow, it was very pleasant. Sandeep says, Mehran, I'm also Indian, and Indians actually have very easy and less costly access of YouTube and internet. So your channel just needs to be shared and advertised to get more and more subscribers, and we are doing it. Oh, thank you very much that you're doing it. I appreciate that. And if there's something I can do, a specific advertisement geared to Indian population, well, suggest it, guys. Send me a note, either in the comments, I read all the comments, or in private messaging, and I'd be more than happy to look at it and see how we can do that, because I know there are lots of people in the world, in Europe, in India, in all parts of the world, that are looking for deep substances, deep contents. And I like to reach those people, because that's how we can really change the quality of the world, one at a time. If we each know how we are put together, what makes us tick, how we can deal with the questions and events and challenges of life, mostly mental, each one of us, if we can deal better, then we will affect ourselves in a more positive way. We'll be more confident and happy and free, which would actually affect the community and the societies that we live in, and which in turn brings the level of energy of each community and society higher, which in turn could affect the whole world as it could. It all starts with ourselves, and so hopefully we can be more popular as we go along. Roop Singh says, sir, how to stop feeling lonely and alone? I was so used of people with whom I shared good, bad things. But now I'm 30, single. My ex managed to continue relation, blamed and married this year as I got intimidated. So she got married, no big deal, good riddance. She wasn't yours, and she wasn't good enough for you, because if she was, she wouldn't go marry somebody else. Why would you want somebody who chose somebody else? That should totally, immediately be a disqualifier. As soon as somebody doesn't want to be with you, that should be good enough reason to disqualify her. So, okay, I only want somebody who wants me, and then I decide if I want her. But if she doesn't want you to begin with, that's a disqualifier. Simple. Roop says, with current guy, my family and he got frictions and misunderstanding. Now they're against and me just so alone, feeling like never ever get a guy in my family. I'm sorry, I'm missing something. Are you a man or a woman? I missed something. Roop, are you? See, this is what I want. I want you guys to tell me where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and if you're a man or a woman. I can't tell from names always, or when there's no picture. So let me know, who am I talking to? Yes, sometimes I get frustrated too when I don't see the communication clear enough. So Roop, first tell me, you said you're 30-year-old. I know you're from India, but I don't know. Let me read it again. Maybe I can figure it out from. So, how to stop feeling lonely and alone. I was so used of people with whom I shared good and bad things. But now I'm 30 years single. My ex managed to continue relationship, blamed and married this year. See, I still don't know if you're a man or a woman. Halfway through the question. With current guy, who with current guy? Your ex or you? If it's you, then I can safely assume that you're a woman. But you're talking about that one, then that means I don't know. I don't get it. With current guy, my family and he got fixed. That means you now have a new boyfriend and your family got into a friction with that boyfriend and now they're against him and you feel alone again, feeling like never ever get a guy in my family. I see. So this is, I think you had a boyfriend and you broke up and that guy went and got married and now you have another boyfriend and now this boyfriend has a problem with your family or your family doesn't accept him or something. Yeah? Did I finally get it? Is that it? Roop? So first of all, just can you hear yourself? You had two guys and you think that was all the guys that there were in the world. Suddenly you think, oh, I'll be lonely because these two guys didn't work. Because you're 30 years old. So you can keep going looking for a store to buy something you're looking for and you can't find it. And you say, oh, I went to this store, they didn't have what I was looking for. I went to that store, they didn't have what I was. So that means I can never find what I'm looking for. Is that a reasonable sentence? All along, it could be just around the corner, but you can't see it because you're looking straight. But all along, few more steps, you turn around on the corner in that alley. There's a store that has everything you want. How do you know? How can you say that I looked the whole street, I couldn't find what I'm looking for, therefore it doesn't exist? Because that's the field of your vision. That's a limitation of your patience, vision, energy, and the time you want to spend on, and your inability to be more patient and more search more for what you're looking for makes you think it doesn't exist, because we're accustomed to get what we want right away. We're all conditioned that everything should be injection right away. I want to be having a nice fit body. I want to have lots of money. I want to have happy. I want my food to be ready in 5 minutes. All through our life, we've been conditioned for impatience. Everything now. And no wonder when you can't find what you're looking for a while, suddenly you think it doesn't exist because I couldn't find it in the time that I wanted to allocate to it. But life is not like that. Sometimes it just happens to be very quickly, and sometimes it doesn't. You know, some countries have a perfect schedule on their train or bus systems. So everybody knows exactly when the bus comes in. Those are wonderful, but we're not talking about those. Other countries like India, Pakistan, Iran, and some other places in the world, their bus system pretty much has no schedule. None whatsoever. Train system runs whenever the driver finishes his lunch. Or that's why suddenly, you know, you can see a bus coming, 1 or 2 or 3 of them, and then suddenly there for 2-3 hours is nothing. So you cannot know. That's pretty much how life is. As unorganized as these examples, these countries are for their transportation system, but that represents life a little bit better than the countries who are really, really disciplined in their transit system. Why? Because in life, you don't know when things show up. They may show up just when you thought, no more bus coming. I gotta wait 3 hours, and suddenly, boom, one is coming. Why? Because the guy went to the bathroom and he was late, and now he finished, and then he washed his face, and now he's driving. So suddenly it comes out of schedule that you don't expect it. That's what happens in India, in Pakistan, in Iran, in many other countries who are not really that organized with their transit system. And that is exactly what life is all about. You think you can't find the mate you're looking for because you've been looking for it and waiting around, it didn't come, so that means it'll never come. That's how you think when you're waiting for a bus in India or Iran. You wait, and it didn't show up, so you figure, I don't know when it's coming. Because I don't know, then I think it will never come, because I have no notion. People believe what they can see or what they know. When you're waiting for a bus, you don't see the bus coming, and you don't know when there's the bus coming, because there's no schedule. So you think it will never come. You have no control on it. You give up. You start walking. Now, same thing in life. You're not seeing the opportunities and the possibilities and the candidates of the guy that you're hoping for. You don't see them lining up. And you don't know that they will be there and when they will be there, because it's unknown. Because you don't see them and you don't know them, and there's no real reputable information center has told you that, you know, lo and behold, be patient, it's coming tomorrow. There's no such thing. So you don't know and you don't see it. Therefore, you think it doesn't exist. And you conclude that it doesn't exist. And then you go, I'm 30 years old and it doesn't exist. And therefore, when... But you don't know. It's like the bus. It may just turn around the corner and say, oh, there's one coming. Everybody comes jubilant. Life the same. You're going tomorrow to your work and you meet someone. You don't know. And that's the beauty of life. So that means there's always hope because you don't know. Don't think because you don't know, that means it'll never happen. Because you don't know when it will happen, which it could be just tomorrow. You never know. Bank on that. Focus on your life. Keep building your life. Be hopeful, as when you don't know, you also don't know when it will happen. Look at it this way. There's two ways of looking at it. I don't see it, and I don't know when it's going to happen. That means two things. Could mean two things. It'll never happen, or because I don't see it, because I don't know when it's happening, it may happen any moment. I could see it any moment. Because it could just happen. So, be patient. Keep focusing. And help your family to be more reasonable next time. Ayush says, hi Mehran. Hello Ayush. Say, how are you? Thank you, dear. I'm good. Glad that you're here. Roop Singh says, me asking, first class says, Roops, oh, you're talking to. Gavin Singh says, thank you, Mehran. I will definitely post that comment and continue to share your work. I know you can make, you go $1 million on YouTube, and I would for people to have access to your content than others because it's more healthy. Thank you very much, Gavin. I appreciate that. I really do. Mike Bressler says, my ex-girlfriend just texted me and said that she is with another man, but said that she would like to stay in touch. Would it be best to just move on? Absolutely. Don't give a shit about these texts. What does that mean? She's with another man, she wants to be in touch with you. Why? Why? She wants a servant, gopher, or what? Yeah, she knows it. She's got she's a female and she knows you like her. And most women today have become very aware that they have this power, which is not their power, it's the power of desire of the man who likes woman. The men who like women, and the women know that, so they bank on that. They constantly try to use a man to see what else is out there to keep him on the leash possibilities, have an inventory, a bunch of guys running around, and then eventually she will choose one or not. Stop that right in its track. If a woman is not committed to you as you are committed to her, no sense of continuing that relationship when you guys been ex of each other. So don't buy into that. Wish her well and send her a text back and say, happy for you that you have found your partner, but I'm not interested to meddle in other people's lives. So enjoy your life and go on. That's it. Something like that. Polite, nice, short, but also let her know that you have no interest in meddling other people's lives, and at the same time she had her chance. She will figure that out. Madara says guys like the video. Oh yes, that's right. Please like this live streaming. So, and nowadays, by the way, guys, I was able to manage to communicate with YouTube and let them know that once we upload the live streams, the chats and the questions were not showing. It was like empty. So people couldn't see that how many questions came and how it was written or whatever. Now we have that option. So all the uploads will have the chat right beside it, just as it happened, as the video goes along. So that's good. Sandeep says, actually, India is a highly populated country. And if you see most famous, successful YouTubers, they know that they have large number of subscribers from India. Sandeep continues, oh, I lost. There are two reasons for not yet your channel is much famous here in India. Because one, people nowadays love entertainment and comedy. And two, nowadays there are so many fake relationships that they're easily getting more choices in relationship. So they don't overthink too much. Okay. It's very sad that nowadays relationships are getting joke, true and very harsh reality. Okay, Sandeep. Hey Mehran, I'm suggesting you to please watch Three Idiots, Indian blockbusters movie, which really motivating, positive, entertaining, love and true friendship, life story movie. Please watch, you will enjoy it. Okay, I like good movies. If I can find them on Netflix, I will watch it, or I will search it. I like good movies, especially good, wholesome Indian movies. Some of them are really good. Some of them are just waste of time, but and they're long movies. like they're not just 2 hours. Like they're not 1.5 hours. They're like 2.5, 3 hours. And many of them are enjoyable, though, I have to say. Okay, let's go back to where we left off, and we were at Gavin Singh. Okay, Mike, we talked about that. We talked about everybody liked the video, live streaming. And now we are to Mike says, how often do you do live? I think that is awesome and would like watch and be a part. Well, Mike, at one point I did live every day. Every day we had live for a while. I just wanted to, you know, reach more people and I had more time. And I would like to do more, but I find it perhaps it would be useless if it's more than necessary, because we still are hovering over 13 or 20 people, and it's not really, you know, it's not like we have 1,000 people watching it. So I just want to, you know, not just be there when it is not necessarily meeting the demand. Otherwise, it would be good to have more, I think. Olga, hi again. Hello, Olga. One question today. Olga says, lately I feel like I want new friends, maybe new company. My friends kind of disappeared and have their own life, but I'm afraid of people. How to deal with that? You got to find out why you're afraid of people. You're afraid of people that you may not fit in with you, or you may not have things in common, or that, like these other friends, you invest time and bond, and eventually they will go on their life, and you will feel again, you know, you need new people. Is that why you are afraid of people? Why are you afraid of people? People are exactly like you. You are people. You know, most of us think that I am me and they are different, or some of us think they're better, or their lives is rosier, because you don't know the nitty-gritties of their life. You only see them as they're out and about in their good mood, or shopping, or leisure time, and you think that's representation of their whole life. It's not. They are you. They have the same happinesses, hopes, downfalls, sadness, disappointments, challenges that you have. Exactly, if not exactly same subject, different, but same mixture. So when you look at people, don't look at them based on what car they drive, how they look, how fit they are, how much money they have, or if they have a smile on their face, or they have a nose turned up, or they think they're all that. None of that shit can wash. They are not what they seem to be. They seem to be just like you seem to be, and they have the same concerns and challenges inside their head as you have. That's where the common ground starts, instead of looking for someone who drives the same car and likes the same things, the same sports or video or movie, or the same clothing type or brand, to find something in common. No, look, the commonality starts when you realize that they are exactly like you, have the same hopes, aspirations, downfalls, disappointments, challenges, and problems, that they are all housed in their mind. They're concerned about the same things. They're fearful about the same things, because their human being psyche is put together in the same way. Every one of us, we've conditioned from childhood, our religion, our beliefs, our tribes, our customs, our dogmas, what we have seen, how we've been trained, and what we should have, what we should not have, what we should stay with, what we should pursue. All the necessities, all the greed, all the jealousy, everything. And in everybody, they have been raised and conditioned the same way. Different brands, but the same way. From China to Iran. From Russia to Japan. From Germany to Italy, France, Austria, Australia, everywhere. Human being is dealing with the same things, has the same fears, same hopes, same shortcomings, same violence, same understanding, same challenges of all kinds. If you understand that, then you will not be fearful of other people, because they're exactly going through the same things in different colors and shapes and different times and time periods, stages, that you are. So that's the common ground. You are humanity. You are society. We all often say, you know, the society trained me in. But who made society? Somebody, people who gathered, the way they thought, the way they behaved, made the society, and the society now affects the people who join it, the newcomers, the newborns, the people who are raised in that society. But that society actually was made by you. You are society. Your behavior, your actions, your thoughts, your community is you. You are the community. You are the humanity. Every one of us is exactly dealing with the same thing. So what's there to be afraid about? What's there to be feared for? And the ones who have moved on, have their lives, your friends, well, so what? They're dealing the same shit that you're dealing with in their new life. It's not like they found somebody and they have a husband or they have a wife now, they have children, and you think they're now in a different stage of life and they have now elevated to this no problem zone of life. No. Still they get up, they have the same things, same problems, same challenges as they had before, plus the new challenges of the children and the money and the economics and the wife or the husband, whatever it is, plus all the things that they were dealing with now. So don't think just because they've moved on, they have their own lives, that means they have now better life than you. Their new situation causes them have probably no time or priority to deal with things that they liked, like being friend with you and hanging out and doing things. Because they thought that is how they can escape from the way that they used to live. And they are now in that stage. And they see, holy shit, that's just another challenge. It's not something that is written in stone. Oh, if you get there and have that kind of life, it's better than this. No, you find the happiness in everything that you do in life. In new friends, in old friends, in breakups, in new challenges, in things you find, in going for a coffee, in understanding nature, in building something, in doing something, producing something, putting effort in something, learning something. Everything about this whole life is an opportunity for us to feel good or envy for what we don't have. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, which brings you dissatisfaction and sorrow and sadness and loneliness, why don't we focus on the things that we don't have and we don't want to have them? There are lots of things that I don't want to have and I don't have them. Thank God. So I'm happy that I don't have certain things that I don't want to have. Think about it. You know, you don't want to have certain disease, you don't have it. You don't have certain problems, you don't have it. But we're not thinking about this. We only think about the things that we do want and we don't have it. So we actually pump ourselves up to be sad. Because every morning we get up, the first thing we think is, what I don't have. I wish I had this. Why do we think this way? Why don't we get up and say, thank God I can see. Ah, good, I have tea. Oh, good, I have water, I can wash my face. Oh, I slept on a bed. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I have an apple I can have. Egg, I can have breakfast. Why are we not focused on the things that we do have? And we're constantly reminding ourselves the things that we don't have, which brings all the feelings that comes with it. If we focus on the things that we do have and we like having them, and focus on the things that we don't have and we don't want to have them, we've got half of the problem solved, if not most of it, because it's all about happiness, isn't it? And that brings a little more chance for us to be happy and hopeful. And if you think this way and move this way and live this way, this whole good energy that you create in yourself will emanate as you walk about and you don't even think about it. And that naturally brings more opportunities and attracts a similar or good people to become friends with. And that is something that happens automatically because of some things that you've been doing, which is not directly pointed at for getting new friends and not being lonely, but you're focusing on things that makes you happy and brings to your mind that why you should be happy. And by doing that, you're emanating a different energy. You feel different. You do different things. You go different places because your whole feeling, resonance with the energy of the universe has changed based on how you think through your life. You get up, think about the things that you do have, and you're happy having it. You get up and think about the things that you don't have, and you don't want to have it. So all the things creates a different resonance of energy, and that creates a new, different possibilities, which attracts and puts you in line in different paths, which you could meet the kind of people or the kind of events and activities that brings you a little bit more joy. And isn't that all we're here for? To turn this journey into a more joyful one. So I hope that would be something for you to think about. Olga, which I think there's no shortage of friends. It's just resonate the same energy and be doing the things that you like to do, which creates better energy in you because you're doing the things that you like to do, and that energy will respond and bond with other similar energy, which brings its avatar and its physical entity attached to it, and then you start a relationship, a friendship in that way. Hopefully that would be something that have answered your question somewhat. All right. Now, let's talk everything. Says, guys, what language do you think I should be asking to observe the protocol in? Should I be saying, going and learning how to say that in Chinese, French, German, Persian, Russian, Japanese, Swahili? What language should I say? Please, in your questions, tell me where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and if you're a man or a woman. Let's talk everything. I mean, how do I know who this is? Man, woman, where is it tuning from? And it is, how old is he or she? Right? Let's talk everything. So, he says, my ex-wife, I assume then he's a man, is convinced that I had an affair. Did you now? Of course you did. You had an affair with her. She's convinced of that because she has first-hand knowledge. It was an affair with her, with your wife, with your ex-wife. He says, my ex-wife is convinced that I had an affair. You're talking about when you guys were together, of course, right? Because what do you care if she convinced that you have an affair now? It's your right. You can have an affair now. You're not with your wife anymore. You're separated. You're divorced. Anyhow, more information necessary. So again, my ex-wife is convinced that I had an affair. Because of it, we separated. Oh, okay. The hardest part about it is dealing with the fact that it's not true. But because of the accusation, the marriage is lost. That's not the real reason. You're bamboozled here, I think. I mean, there's a chance. I mean, but I may be wrong. But it's unlikely. If a woman has her head on her shoulder, stable thinking, likes the life that she leads, she has with her husband, her boyfriend, it's not going to mess it up when things are not really clear if it's true or not. So you're being misdirected to think that her reason was because you had an affair. Because she's using that. If you say it's not true, which I tend to believe you, which means you tried to make sure she understand it's not true, and she came up with all kinds of things, accusations, and you tried your best to refute it and show her that it wasn't true. But still, she wanted to separate, divorce, which means the affair accusation was not the real reason. She just bamboozled you. She wanted to blame it on you, but she wanted out. She wanted to go on her way, do her own thing. But she didn't have the guts to say it, and she didn't want to take the blame, so she started making up something, an excuse, to choose it, to use it, in order to give herself an image of a victim in the eyes of herself, in your eyes, and the eyes of the family and everybody else, so she will feel free like a bird without any blame, but having done what you. This is what's going on around the world. People misdirect you and still doing some weird things, but keep your attention on something else. So I think she's done a magician's act, because if a boyfriend or a husband hasn't done what she accuses you of having doing, it feels she knows it, and you know it, and it just can't work to be a reason for separation. It's clear. But if somebody wants to use that, then she's not balanced. Let it go. Good riddance. Forget about it. It doesn't mean what she thinks. It's not worth what she thinks to affect your life. Who is she? One person did what she wanted to do for whatever reason. Let's say, right or wrong, doesn't matter. That was her choice. And you're clear in your mind that it wasn't true. And that's all it matters. All it matters is the truth. It doesn't matter what she thinks. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. You focus on your life. She wasn't the last woman on earth, and she wasn't the salvation of your life. In fact, that what she's done proves to you that she wasn't the right partner for you. So be jubilant, celebrate, and be free, and don't buy into the bullshit that just sold you or whatever else. And even if people have believed her, don't give a shit. Just move on. Find another girlfriend, find another life, build another life, live your life, go through this journey. It's a short journey. Don't waste it on this kind of bullshit or someone's opinion about you. Because she's a woman and you are a man who've been conditioned to think woman is all that. Being between her legs makes you feel accomplished. That's how we've all been conditioned. So instead of that, simply move on. One person's opinion about you, or 100 people, or 1,000 people's opinion about you, has nothing to do necessarily with the truth. You move on, build your life, enjoy your life, and just let these things be in the dust of the past. Now, Ayush Raj says, thanks Mehran, because of you, I am fully moved on. Your videos help me a lot, but sometimes my ex come into my mind. That's all right. That's normal. We all have relationships that we may think from time to time. It's a thought. Enjoy it. Just make sure you don't fall into the vortex of bullshit of it. Just focus on the good memories of it, and then quickly remember that with those good memories there was some bad stuff, and that's why you guys are not together. So enjoy the good memory, but don't feel you miss anything, and then move on. It's a thought. It doesn't matter. It's a wave in the ocean, and it moves on. Everything moves on. And then he continues, but sometimes my ex comes into my mind, but now I can able to handle my feelings and control my emotions. Thanks a lot, sir. You're quite welcome, Ayush. I'm proud of you. Glad that you enjoy the videos and find the channel helpful. Don't forget to promote it. Promote the videos and the channel on your social media. Help this to be known, especially in India, more and more, and all over the world, whoever, wherever you have a chance to watch this channel. Roop Singh says, sorry, typo error. I'm a girl, but I would like to convey my wholehearted regards to you. My family and this guy have friction. My guy feel insulted, and so my family out of misunderstanding. No one listens. What to do? I think we discussed this before, but in this particular way, perhaps you can be the ambassador between the two. If you really like the guy and you think it's the right choice for you, you can sit with him, ask him what the problem. Don't make any opinion, just listen to what he says and make notes. When you make notes, the other person feels that his words and opinion is important because you're making notes. Don't make an opinion. Don't defend your family. Don't say anything. Just make notes. Then say, okay, let me go and, discuss this. And then you go to your parents and you tell them, Mom, Dad, could you please have a warm moment with me and tell me the things you're concerned and you don't like about what this person has done or said or whatever. And when they're talking, you make notes and listen to them carefully. And then you go back to your own place, your own room, and your own moment. Look at the notes and see what they have said, and see where you can bridge the two and interpret the misunderstanding of this part that your boyfriend said and this part that your parents think, or this part that your parents said and this reaction or this interpretation that this boyfriend has done of what the parents have said. And then you go back to the boyfriend, explain that what he thought is actually your parents have mentioned that's not what they meant. They meant this. So translate, interpret their thinking and saying and understanding of each other to each other. Make them understand and smooth it out when you communicating what you have gained from these two interviews to the other side. So smooth it out with better words, like when you say, okay, actually my parents think they didn't mean it that way, and of course they never wanted to insult you. They were thinking about what it would be best for the daughter. They meant to show their love towards me, but they forgot to show their love toward you. Things like this, that you will relay the message, but in a less poisonous way. And then you also say complimentary and good things about the parents from the boyfriend when you sit with your parents. That Mom, Dad, actually I talked to him and he said he didn't mean it that way. He meant it was insulting to him because it looked like that you don't think he's good enough, or you don't think that he's capable enough to take good care of me. And he wanted to show his love to me, but he didn't know how to show this in proper sentences, and it ended up hurting you. You got to be able to bring these in that fashion, so each will understand the intention, not the poison that came with the meanings or the points that they each had in that interaction or interchange. Perhaps that could be some help at this point with the little information that I have of how things went down. Oh. Ayush writes, says many Indians, South Asian countries, are suffering from depression, but they don't know, because they have no idea about it. What is your opinion about South Asian countries and depression? Well, I'm not sure if we can talk about this topic about a geographical area. All South Asian countries, most people in there suffering from depression. I can't say that because I don't have that data. But I can understand what you mean. Places that the rule of law is not what is the boss, and the boss are human beings, dictators, abusers of power, and there are lots of these kind of people found in Asian countries, and people are under stress because the laws are not observed, their good laws are not observed, but what somebody who is an authority says and utters, that's observed. So abuse of power is always on people's neck, so people don't feel safe, they're oppressed, and that oppression, being oppressed, brings depression for them because they find themselves helpless in order to be protected by certain set of rules that protects them from these assholes who happen to be in power, whether in a factory or in a government authority, or they abuse their powers, or maybe police force, or whatever it is, or even a principal of a school or a university. They all are possibly using their powers to do it the way they like, rather than observing the laws that they have in that country. So when there is no rule of law, and it's rule of whims and wishes of somebody who happens to be the authority of that particular department or segment of industry or affair, then people feel insecure, people feel afraid, people feel that there is nothing to protect them, and that brings that lack of security, certainty, protection, because not everybody is so powerful to be able to say, no, you authority, Mr. Authority, you're full of shit, you can't say that because that's against the law. Because the authority person has got the power, says, well, then I'm going to cut your electricity, or I'm going to do this or do that. And the normal people find themselves helpless. That is what brings depression. The helplessness, the injustice, the unfairness. Work his or her ass off every day, and to put little food on the table, still doesn't have enough to buy a toy for his kids or her kids, or have a little bit of a moment of freedom or enjoyment on themselves. Everything is tough for most people around the world, most normal people around the world. And that brings a feeling of insecurity, injustice, unfairness, helplessness, anger, disappointment, which leads to their depression, because they can't find a legal path to be protected and attend to their grievances. And these are what we can notice and say, yes, that does reside in countries that mostly are in Asia. Because there's still lots of people following their greed and ego, and especially that's one of their motivation to get into politics and power. And when they get there, and be a person of authority, and when they get there, they abuse it for their own purposes, which in turn affects so many other people, and then so many other people get angry, disappointed, and disillusioned, and unhappy with their lives, which leads to the depression and all that. It's unfortunate, but it's not that they're not healthy to begin with. They become unhealthy because the system that is being abused is an abusive system. That's why it is very important to have democracy, a real democracy in life, but not just democracy to the limits of voting. That's everyone's right, because one of the biggest democracies in the world is India. But there's still lots of injustice in there for the regular people, and lots of things that they don't have. And there are lots of probably the abuse of power, and authorities are doing stuff for themselves. And it's not just limited to one country. Many countries do that. And that's the main reason why many people feel depressed. So depression is not always because somebody is sick or has some kind of a chemical imbalance in their blood. That's a different type of depression that it needs clinical attendance and psychiatrist involvements, and test of their blood and figure out what's missing, and help out with medicine, and that's a different story. But these type of depressions is going to affect, when people feel that way and feel depressed because of the reason that we just talked about, then they're going to behave differently with their children, their wife, or their husbands, and their employees, or their place of work, and all of that affects a ripple effect on everything else that they do, which involves everybody else, and it just exponentially affects, grows and affects every aspect of their community, all because the rule of law is not observed, and unfairness and injustice has become a norm of the day. So let's go on to the next question, because that subject gets me into a different topic of discussion, and that's not what we want to do here. So Olga says, thank you so much for the answer, Mehran. By the way, enjoy the final game tomorrow. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I missed today. I woke up and I said, okay, I'm going to get ready. I'm going to watch England and Belgium. And lo and behold, it was already done. But I watched the rerun a little bit, and then I said, okay, I'll watch it later. So I do my live talk now. Yes, but I'm looking forward for that wonderful game. I expect to be a hell of a game. Croatia and France tomorrow, and both are great teams. Both. It's going to be a good classic soccer, I think. It's going to be good techniques, classic, real soccer. I don't expect, just domination of one side. Also, I expect lots of technical know-how and skillfulness, and it'll be beautiful to watch, I think. Nikos Bomba says, hi Mehran, hello. Guys, remember, please, where you tuning in from? Remind me if you're man or woman and how old you are, because I don't remember, right? Christine E1, that seems to be the first timer. I don't remember having seen this name here. And again, okay, looks like nobody cares about what I say about protocol. So I'm not going to answer any questions until I know who I'm speaking with. I got to know how old you are, where you're tuning in from, and if you're a man or woman. These will help me to know a bit about your culture by knowing where you're tuning in from, where you come from. So it helps me to maybe deliver it better according to what cultural backgrounds you come from. If I know how old you are, then I can deliver it better according to the age and the stage of life that you are. If I know you're a man or a woman, then I can deliver it better, my answer, towards properly addressing and properly discussing from the point of view that you're coming from as much as I can. So I'm going to wait until Christine tells me a little bit more. It looks like she's a lady, but I still don't know her age or where she's tuning in from. So maybe Christine, you can just drop me a note down below and I'm going to check it. Ah, here it is. Christine says, I'm from Austria. Aha. My name is Christina. There we go. Okay. Christina, we still miss your age. We need to know your age. I need to know your age for the reasons that I explained. And I don't see it here. So I wait till I get that information as well, because often when I start speaking and responding to a question, in the middle of it or end of it, I find out, or they write me that they're like 17-year-old or 40-year-old or 50-year-old, 20-year-old, and I wasn't able to know that in order to incorporate that proper answer for that age group, and it's important for me to know. So Christine, give me the last code. All right, I go to the next question, and while I'm waiting for that, Ayush says, oh, you're talking to Christian, okay. Mike Bressler, USA, I'm 61-year-old. Thank God now somebody is following the protocol properly. See, it comes with age, the discipline and wisdom. He's 61, so he knows that it simply is a good thing to be informative about in the communication. So he's from USA, he's 61-year-old, and obviously Mike is a man. And he says, and what would be your advice if my ex contacts me if things don't work out with her new man in her life? And thank you for your counsel. And Mike says, US, do you think that a long distance relationship from another country is good or bad idea, and why? Let me answer the second question first. Mike asks, do you think a long distance relationship from another country is good or bad idea, and why? Mike, if you actually, I will answer this shortly, but for you to have more resources, if you go to the search engine of my channel and put in long distance relationship, you're bound to get a bunch of videos, meaning videos that I've discussed this in, questions that have come before, and elaborately in different angles I've discussed it. So that would be very helpful for you to know why, because this is not a question that can be answered only one reason. But short of the long is that usually 90% of the relationships, long distance relationships, are useless. They won't work. Why? Shortly I mentioned it here, but make sure you go and search for long distance relationship title in my channel, and then you will have the longer version of the answers, more detailed ones. Look, in long distance relationship, how are you connecting? Either through phone or Skype or some kind of a social media medium. And what do you do when you want to talk to her? Or what does she do when she wants to talk to you? obviously you're going to have your tea or coffee in front of you. You're going to be dewed up and all in, you know, good, and you're happy because you're talking to, you know, the female of your choice, or you think it's the suitable candidate. Both of you think the same way, and so you're happy. So you have a happy outlook. Your energy is good, and your leisure, you're sitting, you've created a certain space of time to enjoy this. So it's an enjoyment. So there's dopamine created in your brain, secreted, and dopamine is there to alert you of something good is happening. That's why it happens. When something good is happening, it makes you aware, it gives you the notice, gives you the info that something good happened by secreting dopamine. And so you're all in a good mood and excited. And then for the next hour or two or half an hour, depending on your schedules and your time frame and arrangement, you guys talk about things that is pleasant. Talk about things that is exciting. And you don't necessarily maybe think what you guys are talking, all of it is interesting or exciting, but the fact that there's a physical entity that is promising an intimacy or getting to know each other, a partnership, being more than one, brings security and certainty, which the promise of possible meet and excitement of imagining that you guys can actually maybe meet someday and maybe hold hands, or, you know, you have these pictures come into your mind while you're talking to each other, and that creates oxytocin. And now you're even higher. Dopamine is there, oxytocin is there, and you feel great, and all these promises and imaginations and stories that you imagine brings that excitement, which covers everything else that you should be knowing of each other. And you can't be knowing of each other because it's like icing on the cake, and you don't see the ingredient of the cake. You're just focused on the chocolate and the icing, because that's how far and how deep you can actually reach from this conversation in this forum. So all of that adds to your ability, or to your convincing yourself that the reasoning that you need to believe that it's the right choice. Because everything is good. She's pretty. She's sitting nice and clean. She's happy for the reasons we talked about. And you seem the same way to her. And then you talk about things you like. And most importantly, you don't see each other in real life, how you're negotiating. If the waiter or the waitress brings your tea or coffee and sets it a little bit angular, not exactly, how you react, what words you utter, how you interact with other people, how you interact with the real life situations, how you negotiate your day to day, how you come back and call each other after days of work at your worst, or what is it that bothers you. You don't see any of that. You see all that 1 hour, you see the trimmed, the edited version of each other, specifically for that purpose of making a good impression. And it all works. And two things now happens. Eventually you guys meet each other, and it's such a short time in each other's country because you can't be living there. So you see each other in a forum, in a venue, that one of you is an expert because it's your domain, it's your area. So you'll be the leader of activities and knowing how things work. And then you seem so smart to the other one. And when the other one comes to your country, or maybe just one of you goes, so you're convinced that she's the right one because she knew everything, she seemed capable because she was aware and informed of what was going on around, she was making the choices, and it gives you the image of her being capable, manager, and able to handle things. But it was only her backyard, that's all she knew. You bring her over here, your place, your country, she would know a thing. And that same person that you thought is really capable, suddenly you see she really may not be. Maybe the language, or even if the language is the same. Because you have to see each other function in real life society and environments and challenges of day to day, to have a good grasp of what really each of you are all about. Now, the other thing that happens is this. So you don't have a real good assessment of the situation when you visit each other for a short time. You know, even though if you visit each other in each other's country, still you wouldn't have a good assessment because of the reason I just mentioned. The other thing that happens is, if you haven't visited each other yet, and you keep going, well, you keep going and you keep going and you create this whole excitement, but there's something missing. The physical touch, physical interaction is missing. And you know that, and she knows it. And you're a human being. You still want that, but it's not there. And in the meantime, while you're, building your hopes and plans, she meets somebody there in her city, or you meet somebody in your city, which represents that physical interaction that we just talked about, going out for coffee and actually bonding on different conversations, including the environment around you, which you're going to be affected by, which you're shielded from in your Skype conversations. But then she will end up wanting that physical touch because it's missing. So she's going to do that, and she may going to tell you right away, or she may cheat it. She may have this conversation to enjoy and then have that physical interaction relationship to complete her experience. And eventually she will leave this virtual relationship for that physical actuality of relationship. So it's end up either you will do it or she will do it. So most cases it will end up in disaster and disappointment. So I suggest not, because there is no way. It's like buying a peach online. How can you know how it smells, how ripe it is, how it feels, and how it tastes? None. But if you go to a grocery store here, you have a chance. If you want to buy a kilo of it, it's reasonable to cut a piece of it and then taste, say, oh, that bushel has got good peach. Yeah, that's okay. I'll have a kilo of that. Or the color, you touch it and all that. It's just like that. You deciding something on a promise of it will be exactly as it's being represented. It's like there's a write-up on this peach, on this product, but you can't touch the product. You just got to believe the description that is there representing the product. You can't. You can't always it can't always turn out right. You need to handle that product before you actually are convinced that it actually is as the description on the card of it is. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I don't suggest a long distance relationship ever. Long distance relationship is when you guys cannot find the right person in your own backyard and you think you can find it somewhere else. And that person hasn't found the backyard and thinks you can. These are all other things involved, which perhaps you can find more information on this topic on searching other videos I have on the channel about long distance relationship. Mike, I hope that is something for you to think about. Now, the other question that you have says, I'm 61 years old and and what would your advice be if my ex contacts me if things don't work out with her new man in her life? Well, you can tell her the same consciousness that I had before you left me is still there. You having left hasn't changed my consciousness. But the question is, what changes have you made by this experience? What have you realized? What modifications have you done in your consciousness for you to be convinced that you should not come back to me? Because the problems that existed, the reasons that you thought, or the problems you thought there was, or we both thought there was, still exist. Because the problems doesn't come because you cooked this or I bought this today. It's in consciousness that those problems are with us wherever we go. So you try to escape from the consciousness that you have and in relation to my consciousness by going to somebody else, thinking that a new physical avatar will eventually make you think that you're a better person. or the problems that you were sensing in our relationship would not exist, but give it long enough, that those problems may appear over there as well, because the relationship is not between the avatars, is not between the physical entities of each one of us. The relationship between your consciousness and his consciousness and your consciousness and my consciousness, and that's where the divisions and problem and challenges are there. I forgot the word. Conflicts or divisions there. That's where the conflicts or divisions appear, because of the differences in the field of the known, the consciousness. So you think you jump from here and there, you may always come back because I'm the known to you. But that doesn't mean just because you miss me because I'm familiar and we have memories, you're coming back for the memories, but I'm still the same person. We gotta meet on consciousness level, not on memory level. The things I have of you in my memory is wonderful. I can't live with that. I gotta live with you now, the now. I can't look at you and have you in my mind, perceiving you in my mind because of the memory I have from you. I have to be able to be dynamically involved with you as you are and as I am with our consciousness. We have to understand that. So for that, we need to understand what and how we are put together. And for that, we need to go to Mehran's site, mind@sixtruth.com, and acquire that very, very cheap ebook that he has. Because you know I have few books that they are very expensive when they're in print. But I've turned them all into nominal thing because I want everybody to have it. So it's not geared for me to be rich. There's no really economic agenda here from my conversation, because it's like $5.99 price of coffee or tea. But in that book, it explains, it's called Me, My Psyche, and I. Explains to you in 360 pages how you're put together, the things that you may feel, how you think of yourself. The fact that your relationship with her and each other, two people, is a relationship between your image you have of yourself and the image you have of her in your mind. And she has a relationship between the image she has of herself in her mind and the image she has of you in her mind. These two images are interacting, but you are not. That's why the relationship becomes dormant and they don't grow, because you're not dynamically seeing each other. You're perceiving each other based on images. And every moment we throw this image out and we pick up another image based on what we are involved in in our daily affairs. And that's another topic, and I don't want to digress on that one. So anyhow, go on my site. Me, My Psyche, and I was one of the books that I've written there. mind@sixtruth.com. Me, My Psyche, and click on it. Look at table of contents, and then click on it. Read a sample chapter. If you think it's something that it would be helpful to know yourself, then read it. Don't read it like a novel. Read it anytime you time, because all the chapters are independent. You can choose any chapter anywhere of the book. But it will bring you a little bit more understanding of your psyche. What is the relationship between thoughts and consciousness? What is the relationship and the role of it in your life? Role of the fear, desire, ego. And you understand all that. And then you understand how she's put together, because now you understand how you're put together. And then you guys can start getting to know each other and interact on different level. So if you can communicate these things to her, then maybe. But if she comes back to you just because it didn't work out, well, the same reason she left you, because it didn't work out, because she didn't know how she's put together. And she didn't focus on it. Same thing with you. So make this clear to her if she contacts you. Otherwise, move on. You can't hang around for her choices. You're not a charity case. You're an entity with consciousness. If she wants to bond with you, she must bond on consciousness level. Otherwise, it will always be, as you know, at this age, always going to be one piece of physical entity to another piece of physical entity. But the physical entity and the interaction based on intimacy is a program. It's not preference or understanding of each other's character or advantages or shortcomings and how we're put together. So you got to focus on that and build your relationship, knowing how each one of you are put together. I hope that would be something for you to think about, Mike, and perhaps helpful to your situation. Romana Ahmad, hi Mehran. She says, I hope you're well. A female, 36 UK. Thank God, and thank you for your kind observing the protocol. Before I read your question, let me go and see if Christine has answered that bit of information that I needed. There we go. Okay, Christine. Now I'm going to go back to your question. She's female and she's 35. Now, I thank you for your kindness. I go back to your question before I go back to the next one. Don't forget, guys, like the live stream if you're enjoying this talk, because that helps us to be more visible by YouTube algorithm. And please do share the videos that you like from my channel on your social media. Feel free to do that. That helps us to be more noticed, and we need exposure. As you all know, the content of our channel is pretty deep and helpful, and we have over 1,000 videos now on this channel of all kinds of anything you feel like after your breakup, or about your thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, and ego, your psyche. All you have to do is just write that word, that feeling in the search engine. There's bound to be some videos about it. Over 1,000 videos and still counting. So please do promote the channel and help us grow. Now, where was Christine's question? Ah, there it is. Christine, female, 35, from Austria. Guten Tag. Wie geht's heute? She says, how can I overcome all these lies and his blame shifting? Although he betrayed me and threw me away like a piece of garbage from one day to another after 4 years, and then he hovered or hoovered, and now. Ah, okay. So he blackmailed you into a romantic relationship again after having treated you badly, throw you out like a piece of garbage, you say. First of all, let me... Do you guys are okay if I take a 1 minute break? 1 minute, just 1 minute, yeah? I take 1 minute break. Maybe we can all take 1 minute break and do this, what I do. Just sit and think about a small point about 20 centimeters lower your abdomen, lower your navel, lower below your navel, 20 centimeters below your navel. I know it gets close to the critical area. That's okay. Now stick your finger and put it on that 20 centimeters lower than your navel, and make a pinch. Just pinch it a little bit and push it in a little bit, and feel a hypothetical point inside from your skin, inside 20 centimeters lower than your navel, inside, and then focus on that point. Close your eyes as you're sitting, and put your thoughts and focus on that point, a hypothetical point, 20 centimeters lower your navel, and focus on that, and try to see what color it is and how small that, very, very small point, and try to see what color it is. At this moment, mine is white, with a little spot of black in the center. I want you to focus what color that small point at that location, hypothetical location is, and I want you to focus on the center of that small point, center of that color. Focus on the center, on the very center. Keep imagining the center of that small point. See what color it is. Well, I want this to be more than 1 minute. Unfortunately, I promised 1 minute, so I have to come out. That 1 minute brings so much tranquility and energy back to us. That is when you become synchronized with accepting energy of the universe and become one with the universe, no longer focused on you and nature, both become one energy. That's when the total harmony. At that moment, you're not focused on problems, challenges. Thought stops, time stops. Thought and time are the same. Okay. Christine. Number one thing I want to ask you, never say again. When you say, and threw me away like a piece of garbage, there's a power in the word. When you use the word garbage about you, you tend to believe it. You disrespect yourself. When you allow such words describe you, even though you are trying to bring about a point, but you are demeaning yourself in the meaning of the word garbage, in association with you, you're conditioning yourself to think of yourself that it is possible that you are garbage. Because you allow somebody else, you have an opinion that this somebody else threw you out like a garbage. First of all, you allow somebody else to have a chance to think, or you think that they can throw you out, which diminishes you in value, and at the same time consider yourself and use the expression of garbage about you. You never do that again, because you're not. You're not garbage, and nobody can throw you out. If you think of yourself that way, others will think of you the same way. Once you respect yourself, you don't even interpret such actions to such words, don't allow such words to describe whatever happened to you. Therefore, you will have a different energy being emanated from you, which firstly affects you yourself. So first, think honorable, respectable, valuable, worthy about yourself. Then you can expect others to see you in that light. But once you allow these sort of thinking come to your mind about you, then you think the other person is better because he was able to inflict such treatment onto you, to the point that you thought he actually did or could make you feel as if you're garbage, which means you think of yourself less than that person. Don't put that person in such a place of authority. Number one. Then you will understand that there was this disagreement or conflict, division, and that's what the choice of that person was, but it has nothing to do with your worth and value, and nobody dares to throw you out. What do you mean, throw you out? Who are you? A rag? You can't talk to yourself about that in that way. Just respect yourself. You're a woman. The whole world goes around you because of woman. We all love, respect women. You have to know your own value before you expect others to know your value. I'm not saying to be snob, but I'm saying understand this whole entire world comes from your womb, a woman's womb. That's how important woman is. Don't ever think that way of yourself anymore, ever. At any age, I don't care who he is, how much money he has, what kind of person he is, how he looks like. Nobody should be able to make you think about yourself as lower than the other or garbage, even jokingly. Now, she says, how can I convince all these lies? Overcome. How can I overcome all these lies? What lies? I don't know what you're talking about. And why should you overcome if they're lies? They're lies, they're lies. Don't pay attention to them. The lies do not replace truth. The truth is always truth. If there is a truth and this is a lie, I don't care who says it, how many times it says, I focus on the truth. The truth is what you should anchor on, not the lies. You think the lie has more value because it's been said by someone that you actually have certain reason to want that someone, have a desire or need for that someone. So that someone's word, even though lie, becomes a bit of a weight or value to you. It shouldn't be. Still, no matter from whom this word is uttered, the worth and value of it is if it's true or not. If it's not, has no value. The truth is here, you should focus on the truth. Doesn't matter who says what. It's not about who says it, it's about if it's fact, truth, or not. Yeah? So if it's a lie, it's a lie. You shouldn't give a damn. Lies and blame shifting. Okay? Again, somebody blames you for stealing something or having caused a fire, but you didn't. So what do you care then about the blame? The facts, the truth is not in agreement with the bullshit that somebody says, regardless of what their echelon or position or your interest in them is that has made them feel important in your eyes. You have created an image of this person higher than you, higher than the image you have created for yourself. And therefore you think, because you have created that higher image of that person, based on your need or desire for that person, for whatever reason it is, you somehow think whatever he utters is more valuable than what you utter, regardless of which one is the fact. You should only focus on what's the truth. So it doesn't matter, lies, blame shifting, blames, okay, so what? Move on, don't pay attention. People try to manipulate each other by blaming each other. But you're not supposed to buy into that. That's their way of feeling important because they have no other capability. They say there are two ways of having the tallest building in town. One is to destroy all other buildings, brick by brick, antagonize them, beat on them, take them out, carve them out, destroy them, demolish the building. Because when you do that, when they do that, their building, no matter how tall or how short it is, looks taller, because that's the way, that's one way to have the tallest building in town, to destroy, chisel down every other building. And the other one is to keep building your own, keep blocking up and brick by brick and building your own building. Focus on your life. That's the more solid way. The other one is bullshit. Nobody believes it, that this person actually has the tallest building in town, because they all know he demolished and bad-mouthed and chiseled all other buildings. He didn't build anything. He just destroyed others. Now what he has seems like, oh, it's tallest, but it's not. So that's a lie. Everybody will know about that untruth stage that he has created. An illusion for others. Don't be fooled. Don't fall into illusion others create to manipulate and dominate and control you. That is because human being still is savage and uncivilized and does not understand fairness and justice, and his shortcomings and his fear causes to do all these nonsense to make himself feel more. Me, I am more. And it's so important for me to be more. And for that, I'm going to do whatever I can, including bad-mouthing you, lying about you, chiseling down your building, destroying it, just so I can, which is he's running on his ego, which means and worth nothing. So who's the shit now? You can see is not you. Is a person who creates these conditions because he's got no ability to build and bring value to himself in honorable ways. And people who don't have that ability, they go and try to destroy other people and blame other people and make them feel better by blaming and making a different image of those people in the mind of those people. So he's created a campaign to create a different image that you have of yourself in your mind about you. And don't be fooled. Don't fall for that. And Christine continues, although he betrayed me and threw me from one day to another. Well, we just talked about it. So when you are aware of all these and you change your values and consciousness, then you're not fooled by these illusionists and people who bring about these kind of illusory ideas, and you will not buy into it. Then you know where it's coming from. What is being thrown at you doesn't mean that there's something wrong about you and you're bad. It just means the person did not behave well and is obnoxious and is an asshole that throws a rock at you. Just because a rock has come and hit you doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Doesn't mean you're bad. It just means the person is out of order. The person who threw it is doing something wrong. The person who's at fault, who throws things at you, that person needs to be dealt with. Which means move away. Go somewhere without having to rely on your worth and value being dependent on if that person throws you a rock or not. That's not any indication of who you are. The indication of who you are is who you are in your consciousness, how you develop, how you build your life, how you accomplish, how you meet your goals, how you affect the society and the communities and yourself and people around you in a positive way or not. That's what gives you value by what you accomplish in this life and the changes you make in other people's life, not who throws you a rock or who lies about you or who doesn't. So all your focus is on making sure that somebody doesn't lie about you, somebody doesn't say bad thing about you. No, it's their responsibility and you're not yours. You shouldn't be wasting your time on that. You should only focus on building your life and establishing your own worth and value based on your accomplishments and your efforts in life. So let go of what he does and focus on what you do, what you're all about. Others don't set your worth and value. You do. So it doesn't matter what they say, what they blame you for, what they accuse you for. It doesn't matter. That doesn't set your values. You do. So keep that nonsense away from you and don't buy into it. Stay true to yourself. Be confident. Respect yourself. Now, let's go to Danielle. Danielle Siha says, the tea. The tea, yeah. What about it? So we discussed Mike's. Romana. There we are. Romana says, hi Mehran. I hope you're well. Thank you, dear. Female, 36 UK. My ex ended our 13-year on and off relationship 5 months ago. I didn't want to end it, but he thought it was the right decision. For who? For him. Now he's acting out of character and trying to make me jealous by posting things on social media. I've cut off all contacts with him since the breakup. What does this mean? P.S. He ended the relationship because he felt the love wasn't there in order for it to move forward towards marriage. He thinks after 13 years the love is not there. I mean, 13 years you wasted your time and his time by not bonding on consciousness level and just thinking every day that the physical avatar of yours and his is going to be the reason and is going to be the dynamic flow of life that keeps making you guys like each other more. The physical, you will never like each other's physical presence more than the first short while of getting to know each other. That's where the novelty and everything else, the first few years. And after that, that physical thing is not getting better. So there's no way through waiting longer, if you only want to connect through physical entity part of yourselves, that the relationship will grow any stronger, love will grow any stronger. If you just want to focus on the physical part and wait longer in order to see what happens in the length of time. The length of time that is a borrowed time that is initiated because of the physical interest that brings you two together is buying you time for you guys to bond on consciousness level, to learn about each other's psyche, each other's habits, values, inner content of your consciousness. If you don't do that in 13 years, and then at the end of the 13 years says, well, I don't think that the love is there for a marriage. Well, the love is not there because you were trying to put love and build love or connections based on your bodies, physical attributes. And in 13 years, it's just not the same as 13 years ago. So if you couldn't use that time that this interest in each other's body brought to you and use the time to connect on consciousness level, then your whole assessment of things that you're looking for to justify a marriage is wrong. You can't find it through that. And you're gonna go, the guy is gonna go find another girl that is got a different look or different body, or right now is enticed each other because they don't know each other. They didn't know each other of each other. They're new, and they think that that's love, and they're gonna get married on that basis. They're gonna fuck up their marriage because they don't know nothing about each other. So he'll definitely not going to, after a few years, not going to be happy, thinking that, oh, he found it. No, he's married. For whatever reason, he got married without getting to know that person. Now he's stuck with it, and he has to stick it out. Think of it this way. For 13 years, you guys were married. And in this 13 years, you guys didn't bond on consciousness level. Now it's divorced. Think of it this way. It didn't work out. That means he wasn't the right candidate. He couldn't make it work because you guys weren't focused on the same thing that on things that you should have been focused in order to create that bond. Now he thinks that the bond is not there because it's not there. No, because he was focusing on different parts of you or each other. Only physical. The whole relationship off and on was because he was all physical. It wasn't really building something and bonding on deeper levels. That's why it broke off. And everything that is only on physical basis is going to break off, whether it's you or somebody else or somebody else. So don't worry about that. So just cut him off. Don't check the social media on what a bullshit he's doing. Obviously, he's still a child, and he's an idiot, as far as I can see from what you're telling me. So move on, move on. What'd you say your age was? Let me see. 36? Oh my goodness, you're the best time of your life. A 36-year-old woman is a perfect woman. So have no fear, have no concerns. Go on, do things that you like, build your life, focus on your agendas and your plans and goals and accomplishments and projects, and you will meet the right person, and then see if they qualify by getting to know their consciousness, like getting to know how they act and behave and handle things and negotiate day-to-day lives, and not just basically on how you guys look or what you guys have or what positions and whatever it is that you attain or you're holding on to. I hope that would be something for you to start pondering and move on that direction. Just don't pay attention to whatever bullshit he's doing. You don't have to be a child or immature as he is at that age. Let him go. Let him go play with his whatever it is that he wants to play with. All right. Slay Nation says, hey brother, nice to see you. Love the contents, been watching you for years. Hello Slay, thank you very much. Good to see you here. I'm glad that you're enjoying the channel, and thank you for joining us. Make sure you share the videos that you like on your social media and help us to grow. We need all the exposure we can. Slay says, any advice on toxic relationships? I just ended a pretty bad relationship with a high level of stress, toxicity and destruction, but still care for this person. Well, it's a nature of human being to get used to and care for other beings if a person is a decent human being. So just caring for someone as a person doesn't mean that you should be with that person. So you should focus on the fact that that person that you care is not because that person is worthy of like initiating the is the reason for the fact that you care. The reason you care about this person because you are a good human being. It has nothing to do with that person. It has to do with your characteristics, how you're put together. That's what you. So the caring part should not be a reason for you to think that that person is the right person for you. You care because you're a good person. You can care about a worm. But that doesn't mean the worm is really. You care about any living being. But that is not a good enough reason to think that that living being is the right relationship or the right person for you. You should focus on the fact that all the things that you just said in the few lines here, the toxicity, a toxic relationship, and all these stressful. What the fuck do you want to have anything to do with this person? I don't give a shit. You care or you don't care. You can care, meaning don't wish them ill. That's all. Move on. But doesn't mean that you have to now pay homage or be held hostage because you want to have a good image of yourself in your higher self that you have created of you that is judging your thoughts. So you've created this higher self of you looking from above onto your thoughts and judging you, which what is judging you is actually your own thoughts. And in order to satisfy this higher self of your own thoughts, you're just bound with these, feelings of, I have to care. I have to be a good person. I have to care. So my own thoughts will think of me as good because I've created that my own thought to be a higher self, a God kind of presence. You're fooling yourself. You're binding yourself to something that you don't have to bound to. You are a good human being. You care about things that are alive. That's good. That's enough. Now you also have a duty toward yourself to take care of yourself and protect yourself and be in a safe environment and pleasant and nurturing and growing, developing environment helps you to help grow and develop. And that's not this. You just said it's toxic, stressful, toxicity. So what do you want? Somebody come and crack a shovel on your head to realize that this is not a good relationship. But I care about this person who actually is hitting me on the head. Well, you either fucked up or you're really humanitarian, that even a dangerous person seems to you that you gotta care. No, there's a line. Now this person may not be dangerous as our example says, but so you can care as you care about every other being in the world. So don't wish them ill, but doesn't mean you should be staying in that shit. Get up, move on, walk away, go do your things. There's no guilt in that. So I hope that kind of makes you realize something. Slay. All right. Slay says, now, how do I move forward and should I remain under no contact? It's been over a month now. Slay says, Chris is a man, 26 maybe. Yeah, move on, man. You don't have to wait around for anybody. Sorry, I didn't know protocol. Yeah, it's okay. I got it now. Now, listen, as I said, there is no mandate for you to be in a relationship when you already have recognized is toxic, stressful, no good. The fact that you're staying there because you're thinking about the memories and some good parts of that relationship, no matter how much of it was, but you're focused, a human being focuses on these good memories because that's how we're built. We focus on good things, forget about bad things. But you gotta remind yourself of the quality of the relationship and understand that that is not what you're looking for. You want to be safe, you want to be comfortable, you want to have a cordial relationship, interaction, healthy interaction, positive interaction, and feel relaxed and be able to have a nourishing relationship. Otherwise, no good. What you told me here is good enough. There is no question asking me how to deal with it. There's no dealing with it. You can't say, I'm stuck and sitting in shit. How do I deal with it? You don't deal with that. You get up and walk out into somewhere that is water and you wash yourself and then keep walking. You don't deal with it when you're in a shit. You get out and walk away. There's no dealing there. You just create a distance. That's what you do. So I hope that gives you enough direction and motivation and understanding to move on. Christina says, thank you. God bless you. You're welcome, dear. Don't forget to like the talk and also share the videos that you like on your social media. We need the exposure. Christine, every one of you who are here, I'm giving you a mandate and asking you if you guys are benefiting from this channel, like the content, and the least you can do is to promote the channel, promote the videos that you like as vigorously as you can. Do it and let us reach more people around the world, because as you all have said in thousands of emails that I've received over the years, you think this channel has deep connections with you and has had life-changing effects on many of you, and the contents are amazingly useful and exceptional. So then make an effort. Let the others know. We all know there are channels that they don't talk like we do, but they've got a million or hundreds of thousands of subscribers. How and why? And more power to them. No problems. But we need to also let people know that there are contents that can really be helpful to their lives and change the quality of people's lives and help them to be free from the challenges that they deal with on a day-to-day basis. I will thank you for that, and you will be proud of what you have had a hand in its success. Equality says, what do you think, Mehran? If a person deceives you, then we break up and come back after a while, she will cheat you again for sure. I think that I'm stupid that I'm constantly sticking to her ass of a person that is definitely proven to me that is not qualified for the kind of relationship or kind of girlfriend that I'm looking for. That's what I think. If you ask me what I think. So, in other words, you got your answer. Move the hell out of that and don't pay attention to her. Wish her well and move on. Respect yourself. Romana says, thank you, Mehran. You just confirmed everything I believed. You are a legend. God bless you. Well, thank you, Romana. You can't get away with these just couple of nice words about me. Share the goddamn videos on the channel, on your social media. Do whatever you can to help us get famous. If you guys know people in media, newspaper, or whatever, television segment, they're always looking for some news or some kind of a new thing. So you can introduce it and get them do a little bit of a report. I mean, they can do an interview with me, or they can get some of the videos and get an excerpt of it and then see where it goes. Do something, guys. We need all your helps. Now, Nikos Bumba says, just want to say thanks for your wise words. You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome, Nikos Bumba. Ahmed Abdul Rahman says, do people who cut themselves and blame you for things, do people who cut themselves and blame others, meaning you, for things and are narcissistic, can change? I heard that kind of people are childish and don't change but get worse. It's a different situation for everybody. I can't make a comment on that. So basically, if that is a relationship that is abusive to you and they're narcissistic and they try to manipulate you by their behavior, you simply have to make a decision and don't worry about these questions. Just people are different. I don't know the answer to that, but just move on. Save yourself, move on to a healthy relationship and a healthy position. Okay, guys, I think we have dealt with all the questions here. I hope I haven't missed any. And again, please do like the live stream before you go. We are hit 20 right now. And I thank you for your time spending it with me here. And I appreciate you giving me your time to share some points of views with you. And I look forward to talk to you again. In the meantime, please do promote the videos and the channel on your social media. And be good to yourself, to the others. I'll talk to you soon. And until then, bye for now.